didn't say anything.
You sold it.
I just looked at you like, oh, okay.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
No, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Let's Get Into It.
Yeah.
This is the third time I opened up the show. But we are on the Sunset Strip, the famous Sunset Strip.
Yep.
In
Nefarious.
the tequila. Nefarious. We're in the tequila room at Pink Taco.
Yep.
What I failed to say last time is that we are next to a very famous hotel.
The Chateau
Marmont.
Chateau Marmont. Where a lot of rock stars threw parties. A lot of I think some celebrities died there. I know for a fact that John Belushi died there.
Yeah. Well, we're also close to the Whiskey Go Go. We're close to a lot of it. You know, this spot back in the 90s. Thank you, brother. Some ice cold Modelos just came. Roberts, we got you your Negra.
Oh, thank you.
Of course.
Wow.
Negra
Thank you
Modelo.
very much. That's really nice of you guys.
That's how we roll. That's how we roll here.
that's
This
Deep
is a
shit.
really neat place to be recording.
But I came in with Lopez back in the mid-90s. It was a place called Miyagi's back in the day.
Miyagi's, yes.
Yeah.
This is one of the VIP rooms.
Cheers, guys.
This
Cheers.
is one of the VIP rooms?
Cheers to you guys.
Salud. We were rolling VIP back
We
in the
got
90s. We were at the bar regular.
Davey
regular
Dave
folks.
on the ones and twos. We've got Rod Titty Rinks in here
right.
doing
What's
his
up?
thing. I'm here, your host, Mark
Roberts.
Ice Roberts.
I think
Who
we're
else we
gonna
got?
go
We
with
got some
Diva
other
Roberts.
people here.
We got Sucker Free in the
We
house
got Rudy.
again.
Yeah, we got Sucker Free for the second week. That's what I'm talking about. We got Rudy over there.
There we go.
Rudy the wine guy. I like that.
So yeah, it's exciting to be. There's a different energy this week. I really like it. I was thinking. I went to a meeting in Vegas today. I flew out there to meet with Jose Manuel, which
Baller.
is
you hear that, Davey Dave?
he's involved in entertainment. He manages Jose Linares, Kid Frost. He's got all these documentaries and movies he wants to make, and we're talking about getting involved together. So I came back and I started thinking about how important it is to create an intention before you go into a meeting so that other people can see value in what you're saying for them.
Yep.
If they can see value for them in you, then I think you're going to have a really good chance at making some sort of deal. And I think that helped me a lot.
Right now, we're in like a golden era where everybody wants content.
Yeah.
And it's true.
It's
like
true, very
everything,
true.
there's all these platforms popping. Everybody's looking for stuff.
What's happening right now is all of these streamers, NBC, Disney, everyone, they're all saying to their big companies, they're saying, hey, let's put a bunch of money into this. Here's what the profit sheet looks like over the next 5 years. We spend a bunch of money to create new content. In 2 or 3 years, we're going to have all this product, and eventually over the next 5 years, we're going to get more viewers, and that's what's going to pay us back plus profit
Yeah.
when we get hundreds of thousands of viewers paying $7 a month, right?
Yeah.
So because they're saying this, the investment into these streamers is very, very large right now.
Yeah.
NBC just got the rights to Saved by the Bell.
Yep.
That's NBC streamer. That's not NBC proper, right? So the streamer bought the rights to that, and they beat out Netflix, and Netflix is paying a bunch of money for this stuff.
Yeah.
So what did they have to pay to get that deal?
So Lopez is rolling on that.
I don't know, but I'm just saying they had to pay a bunch of money.
He told me,
So-
I'm going to hook you up. Don't worry. I said, we'll see about that.
So in 4 or 5 years, what's going to happen is a streamer's going to decide, we're either killing it with subscriptions or we're not, and they're going to start pulling back on all the production that they've got going on right now. We're going to have a few left that are going to be very selective, and they're going to be making not as much. There's a reason things are starting to pop, and you're hearing more people. Lopez got like 5 things going in a year.
Yeah, which he didn't have anything going for like a decade.
That's pretty amazing.
It is.
That's pretty amazing, and it's not a coincidence. I'm telling you, it's all because there's a lot of money floating around. Introduce our guest.
So our next guest, when I was in the process of writing El Chingon Lives, which eventually became Made in Mexico, I looked into Rebel Without a Crew, and I came across this filmmaker, and so I started reading her little bio. And she's from Laredo, Texas. She's Latina, Mexican-American like us. And then I started looking. I found her on Instagram. I started corresponding with her, and she gave me some good advice. Like she told me when I started writing, she said, don't stop. Just push through everything. And then I saw her movie, Phaedra, which I really fucking dug. I mean, the vibe of it, the tone, You don't know if it's 70s or current. Our guest today is Miss Scarlet Moreno.
There we go.
Hi,
Nice to
Scarlet.
meet
Hi,
you
Scarlett.
guys.
How are you? Nice
I'm
to
good.
meet you.
How are you?
I did see your movie, by the way.
Oh,
I
cool.
did watch it. It was great.
How did this all come about? Like, how? I love the story. I love the story of Phaedra.
Thank you. Okay, so Phaedra was made on a show, on a docu-series called Rebel Without a Crew by Robert Rodriguez. It was in celebration of the 25th anniversary of El Mariachi. So that was his first film, which he made with $7,000 in 2 weeks. We all know this, right? He's
Yeah.
like a father of indie film. And he wanted to pick 5 up-and-coming filmmakers to do the same thing, to take the same challenge and document it. So that's what he did. And I was chosen as one of the 5 filmmakers
Oh,
out
wow.
of the applicants.
And he gave you $7,000
Wow,
to do that.
That's
Yeah.
great.
right.
Congrats.
Yeah,
you.
congratulations.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
huge.
you.
How many applicants were there? Do you know?
I believe there was something like, I lost the number, but probably, I think it was like around 2,000, a little under
Holy
2,000.
mackerel.
Yeah.
That's like Sundance submission level.
I know.
That's a lot of people. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Obviously, the script was good. I really liked your main character.
Thank you.
She was very good. I liked your male character was also a really good actor.
He's
I thought.
incredible,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was very
Iman.
good.
Mhm.
And I love the Mrs. Roper type character,
Thank
right?
you. Yeah.
She was a
Mrs.
lot of fun.
Roper,
Right.
She's also inspired by a lot of John Waters' characters.
Oh, is that true? Yeah, she would walk. I love that she would knock on the door, and then you'd close the door, but you'd give her that moment to lift her
Oh,
eyebrow.
yeah.
That was fun.
That
Yeah.
was all her.
Oh, really?
The actress, she was incredible. I mean, of course, the character is really heightened and
Yeah.
stylized, and I was like, you know what? Her name is Amy Nichols
Yeah.
Madison. I was like, you know what, Amy? Just go for it, because things she would do, I would just like keep rolling.
Yeah.
For a long
Just
time.
let her go.
Because
Yeah,
she
yeah.
was just like amazing.
Yeah.
She's like one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, no, she
Dorothy.
was great. I thought. I mean, when did you do that? When was this anniversary?
We were on the show, like shooting the show, November 2017, and then it aired on Go 90, I believe, sometime 2018, like March 2018.
Right, so
I
last
think?
year, not
Yeah,
too
yeah,
long
yeah.
ago, right?
March 2018 is actually when we debuted the films during South by at like an El Rey private screening, which was really amazing. And then after that, the show aired, which I believe was like November.
Well, first of all, what is it that you do? Are you a writer? Obviously, you're acting because you were in the movie,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I had no idea that was you, by the way.
Really?
No, he
Yeah.
told me, and I
well,
was like,
no.
wait, what?
Well,
Yeah.
if you
That was me.
if
If
you
you look
watch the
close.
credits,
Yeah.
she's in the movie. I think you wrote a song or two.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I wrote. So my good friend and collaborator Matias, he is an incredible composer, and he composed the score of the film. And there was one scene where we were like, this scene like needs vocals. It was like really, I wanted the feeling to be very like 60s girl group, whatever. And you know, I had no money, so
Right.
I was like, I guess I'll just sing it and do it. So
Yeah.
we wrote this little ditty together and we put it in there. And
So
it was great.
you wrote it.
Yes.
You directed it.
Yes.
And you probably did a whole bunch of other things that
Yes.
that you didn't give yourself credit
Right.
for, right?
So part of the rules of the show was that we couldn't have a crew, right? Rebel without a crew. So we had 1+1 that we were allowed to bring down. Each director had one person. So basically, everything else was like up to us. So I have an extensive wardrobe because I was a stylist, and I was like, I really want to make this film, and it was the film I wanted to make, and it sort of happened to be set in the 70s. So I was like, gotta just go with that. And it worked out.
I think one of the first things I noticed about it was that it was a period piece.
Yeah.
And that's hard to
impressive.
do on
That's
no money.
impressive.
Yeah.
I think that's part of why I was chosen, honestly.
Oh,
'Cause,
really?
like, all 5 of us made stuff. Obviously, we all made, like, genre films because, like, Rodriguez is, like, a big champion of that.
Yeah.
But also, I think they were, like, they chose the craziest 5 people with,
Right.
like, the most ridiculous ideas.
Right.
And they were like, let's see if they can
Well,
do
it really
Wow.
worked, and the wardrobe I think helped a lot
Thank
because
you.
the wardrobe was really well done. So that
Thank
makes
you.
sense.
But even the dialogue, like how Phaedra spoke, was so cool. And then her transformation when she got introduced. I don't want to give away the story, but when she got introduced,
Oh,
to
just give it away.
You know what I mean?
Give it away.
She changed though. Phaedra changed. I was filming Phaedra with Penelope, and then she, then she got hooked.
Yeah. She so I am super inspired by a lot of films from the 70s and 60s, specifically Valley of the Dolls was like a huge inspiration for this film. Also the original Suspiria was a huge inspiration.
Dario Argento.
Yeah. I actually, it's so funny. So I was kind of like late to the game seeing that movie. I saw it I think in like 2014. I was like in my early 20s, and I thought to myself, like, oh my god, a ballet horror, like that's fucking incredible.
Right.
I want to make a disco horror. Like that was the like line of thought. Is like I saw Suspiria and I was like, fuck yeah, I want to do that.
Right.
Gonna make a disco.
Right.
Incorporating like these two worlds of like horror and dance of some kind, or music, is like a huge, really lovely marriage between like two pieces of art that like don't always come together.
Right.
So I was super inspired by that. And then I remember like a year later maybe I was listening to this song called Some Velvet Morning, and it's Nancy Sinatra and Lee Hazelwood. And in the song, Lee Hazelwood sings about this woman or this figure called Phaedra. And he's like, someday I'll tell you about Phaedra. And like the lyrics are so kind of like haunting, and I was like, oh my god, Phaedra, like who is she? Like who is this character? And in the song she's kind of like a fairy, like a sort of sexy creature that like lures you away into like whatever scary thing.
Right.
So I was like, who's Phaedra? And like I also knew about Phaedra, the goddess in Greek mythology, and Phaedra has a very tragic story in Greek mythology.
What is
it? Phaedra fell in love with her husband's son by another woman, so her stepson basically, and she made advances on him and he rejected her, so she got mad, and then she told her husband, I think, that he raped her, and so the husband had him killed. He had him dragged through the city by like a centaur or something, because it's ancient Greece.
Sure. Right.
Like, so I was like, wow, she's like a capricious woman in this story. And then she's also this haunting character in this song, and I was like, the name Phaedra is like really talking to me right now. So that
inspired your
So then it inspired the idea for the film, and so that was really the only feature idea I had.
Really?
So when I got the email from El Rey that was like, do you have a feature film like ready to go? I was like, yeah.
Good answer.
Even though I didn't have it written already, I just had the idea, and I had a couple names, right? So I sat down and I like wrote that script, and then I submitted it, and it worked.
How long did it take to shoot?
Well, we only had 14 days to shoot, like very strictly.
Consecutive.
No, so we had, I think it was like, we couldn't shoot on, or we didn't shoot on Sundays, I think, because we had to shoot while the crew of the show could shoot us.
Got it.
So it was like, yes, like you're an indie filmmaker and you're doing this guerrilla style, but you have to do it within the confines of the crew of a reality show that is working on union time and union, you know what I mean? So you do really only have about 10-hour days.
Right.
And you have 14 days spread out over these like 2 weeks, or probably I guess 3 weeks. But they were very, very super strict with us. So like it really was. We shot this thing in 14 days.
14 days. Did you have any pickup days?
No.
No. Did you? How long did it take to edit?
So part of the rules was that we had to edit it ourselves, and we finished filming like, I think it was mid-November. We finished filming like the show and the shoot and the actual films, and then we had to turn in a final cut, I believe February.
Okay.
So November, December, January, February. So 3 months.
Right. For a final cut.
For a final cut.
That's amazing. So
I didn't get my fucking string out in 4 months.
I know. I gotta tell you though. I gotta tell you how fun and how Rodriguez-esque is that. That's very
absolutely
right. That's
right?
very. It makes complete sense. Well, That's very cool. Congratulations.
Thank
it is a movie that people should see.
Did you shoot it here in L.A. or Laredo? Oh, in
We
Austin.
had
Was
to shoot
everything
in
shot
Austin.
in Austin?
Yeah. So Robert's studios are in Austin, and like we shot it all local, and we
Practical.
used local actors, and everything was practical.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
Yeah.
For, like practical
Right.
effects.
Right.
That was a big challenge. That if you watch the show, you'll see me talk to Robert about that. Like, I think it was like one of our first 2 meetings. I was like, so I'm really worried about like the stabbing scene, and he like talks me through some ideas and like some inspiration about how to go about it practical, and I ended up doing what he said, and I fucking love that scene now.
Yeah, you know, it's funny you mentioned that scene because as I was watching the movie and she gets stabbed and she goes down, and then you cut to her, and then all of a sudden a little bit of blood comes out of her mouth, and it almost felt like Robert had cut it.
Yeah,
Like it felt like his timing was in there.
He literally, when we had the meeting, like the first week, and I just like internalized it like immediately. When he told me, when we talked about it, he was like, just cut. And I was like, okay, got it. And that was literally all I needed to hear to be like, that's how you do a stabbing scene.
And it
like,
was
cut.
really well done, impressive.
Thank you.
Considering it was all practical.
When they leave, when Apollo leaves in the car, that reminded me of...
Dude, that car was awesome,
No, it
too.
was.
Right
love
at the
that
very
car.
end of the
wheels,
movie.
the whole thing, that was
Thank
right up
you.
his...
Yeah,
it was-
beautiful. So, look, again, congratulations. Can people watch the show anywhere?
Yes, it's on iTunes now. You can buy the whole show.
And what is
stream
it called?
Rebel Without a Crew.
Rebel Without a Crew. And what's the name of your movie?
Phaedra.
Phaedra.
And how do you find the movie?
It's also now on iTunes.
On iTunes, okay. So if you're a filmmaker out there and you wonder how to make a movie for $7,000, check it out.
That'd be me, because I did it for 10.
Right.
I did it in 7 days.
Wow.
But I'm
I
dealing
still
with...
think it's impossible.
Listen, old man. Roberts is the old guy here. He thinks we need...
But we
$5
have
million.
2 very good examples of yes, it is possible.
I want to get into a couple things with our guest. How did you get started in all of this?
Okay, so I got started. Actually, I've had a passion for film and filmmaking and movies since I was like a baby, since I can remember, especially performance. And I always wanted to act. So I went to NYU for acting. I studied all 4 years. I graduated. I double majored in journalism. So I always also loved writing.
Yeah.
And when I graduated, I stayed in New York for a year. I was mostly styling, which is something that I just always had a passion for and always gravitated toward, and was kind of like coming easily, not super easily, but definitely more easily than acting.
You mean getting work?
Yes.
Yeah,
like
getting work.
styling it was just
Yeah, they were
coming
calling
naturally.
you and saying, come do this. Right, good.
And so I was like, you know what? I really, really want to act, and I think that the place I feel good doing that feels like LA. So I moved to LA in 2012. Been here 7 years. And when I moved, I did go on like some auditions. I made some like work here and there, but the roles that I was going in for were just not what I wanted to play. I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I love character acting. I love playing like strange, interesting characters, and I just wasn't getting offered that at the time. And it's fair. I mean, I was young, and like, why would somebody give me like a sick, meaty role when they had never seen my work?
Right.
So I got, and this was around the time, like early, Tina Fey and like Amy Poehler, and I kept reading about these women and reading about people saying, you know what, make your own work. And make your own work was what I kept hearing.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
Right.
And so I met, very, very fortunately, through my best friend, Shanae, I met another friend, Kate, her name is Kate Arizmendi. She's an incredible cinematographer. And in 2013, we were both sort of fresh in LA. She was, like, just starting, and I was, just new here. And I was like, I really want to make, like, some kind of weird, like, Barbarella-inspired thing. I don't know what it is. And so I knew I wanted to shoot it at the Madonna Inn, which we did guerrilla style. Sorry, Madonna Inn. And
They
I
should
was
be thanking
like,
you.
I messaged her, or we started messaging back and forth, and she was like, I wrote a little treatment, and she was like, can you make it a script? And I was like, yeah, for sure. and to be fair, it's like an 8-minute short, and the character only speaks like 4 times, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I really wrote it out, details, and like figured out the character and her backstory and stuff. So we ended up making this movie called Viv 1.0, or They Must Have Forgotten, about a fembot who was abandoned in this like old hotel because she's defective. So, almost subconsciously, we made this sort of like little feminist film.
Right.
And it was sci-fi. So I started submitting it to festivals after it was done, and it did really well.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so after that, I was like feeling really encouraged, and I also had more characters I wanted to play. So then subsequently, I made a movie called Bobby about another character, and a movie called Dolores.
So you made 3 shorts based on your ideas that you wrote and that you also directed?
Yes.
Okay. And how did you find the money to do that?
I basically would save up and like spend $2,000 like per short.
Per movie? Yeah.
And so, it was like literally like Christmas money and like
so whatever you got.
Styling money, odd jobs, and
That's great.
That's a real filmmaker
That's
right
pretty
there.
amazing.
That's dedication.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that taking... Well, I mean, obviously, we all want to create our art, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that saving your money and doing those shorts helped propel you into what you did?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's why...
For your full film.
It's why I was able to, I think in the realm of $7,000. Whoa, that's a lot of money.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I can do this.
Right.
Because I'd been doing it with $2,000.
Right.
So, technically I don't think I still haven't worked on a project that was over like 10 to 15K.
Right.
So like
That's okay. That's great.
and I'm fine with that, because in a way, and as I think Robert said in different ways, that frees you.
Yeah.
The constraint really actually opens you up to feel like, you know what, this doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just gonna fucking go for it.
Right.
And then it's freeing in a way.
Yeah. So fast forward to you do the movie for El Rey. You're part of 5 people out of 2,000, which is very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure the next year was very exciting, right?
Yeah,
It's going
definitely.
to screenings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get any meetings out of that?
Well, I didn't get like meetings that most people I think would deem as like super important meetings, but I definitely got work, and I got reached out to by people.
By the way, that's more important. I guess that's
For
the real
sure.
question. Like, did you meet anybody? And the answer is yeah. You met some good people.
People reached out, and like right now I'm in super early developmental stages on this feature, a horror comedy, and these 2 writers who are incredible women reached out to me, and they were like, hey, we have this script, we feel like
you're the girl,
you're the gal.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what, I read it, I was like, this is fucking hilarious and fun and cool. I want to be attached.
That's
so
terrific. So
that's
you're
what we're in right
you're
now.
attached to that. You're looking for funding, or they're looking for funding.
They are, yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And what else? What do you have in your future? What are you thinking about doing?
Well, this year I basically did or so far this year, I did a lot of music videos, which I enjoy so much because, again, it's more practice on like working with smaller budgets, and it's a lot of like freedom creatively, because you don't really have. I work with indie artists, so you don't really have a big studio to answer to,
Right.
which is great. And I work with a lot of female artists, which I love also,
great.
because it's just like really important to keep making work as women together. And it's just like specifically right now, super important to get our voices heard. So,
Right. And what's your plan moving forward? Like, where do you see yourself in a few years? What do you see yourself doing?
to be totally honest, I really want to start acting more again. I miss it so much. I love it. It's like so much fun. And the dream for me as a director would be to act and direct 50-50. Like,
Right.
I would absolutely love if I had a career doing both. And I think that's what I'm working toward. I think the cool thing right now is that I've developed a body of work that when people want a certain look or a certain aesthetic, they can look at my body of work and be like, oh, that's the look I want.
Right.
And like, they want,
That's awesome. Yeah.
which feels really good.
It's almost like specializing, right?
Yeah, and which feels like you know, a really great catalyst in moving forward is like, oh, if people want something like a little niche, a little dark, a little funny, like they go to this girl, you know what I mean? So hopefully, obviously in the near future, I would love to just keep doing more work, working on more music videos. I do have a couple ideas for, you were talking about, it's funny, you were talking about documentaries earlier and Las Vegas, and I have an idea for a documentary that I really want to make. And
are there Latinos involved? Because we could help with that.
I mean, there could be, always, of course. But in the forefront, it's the person I want to make it about is not Latino, but he's really interesting. So we'll see. But I've never done a documentary, so that'll be cool. I just want to keep trying things, and obviously, this horror comedy is a big like part of my life right now, and that's really exciting. So I don't know. Definitely, I would love to do another feature in the next year. Direct another feature, and then hopefully a lot more acting.
Yeah. Do you like directing yourself, or would you rather separate directing from acting?
Honestly, I enjoy directing myself, but I would love to just separate it and just concentrate on acting. Yeah,
that's cool.
You can't do them both. It's too tough, especially if you're leading something.
Tootie, can you put her in one of your movies?
Come on.
Maybe we could swap.
Put me in dude, I had no idea that was her in the movie. She was Calypso, right?
Calypso Reed, yeah.
Calypso Reed.
Yeah, it's funny that you wrote such a sexy scene for yourself.
Yeah,
right?
well, I wrote the character, and
she was like, "I'm gonna have some fun."
It's so funny because I call her like whenever I describe her, I call her a hurricane of a woman, but. It's funny because when
you're totally different than that. Your character, by the way, which is awesome.
I know. I wouldn't have recognized you had I not read the credits.
I hope I'm different from the character. I love her, but she's like a love-hate situation. I initially conceptualized Phaedra, before I knew about Rebel Without a Crew. So I was going to play Phaedra. That was my idea. That was my goal. I was like, oh, I'm just going to do another movie. It's going to be a feature, and I'll play Phaedra. On the show, I was like, not if I'm going to be running and shooting and, doing all this stuff.
And you have all these time constraints and money constraints, right? It would have been hard.
Literally, it was like, you have to be so intense about scheduling on a shoot like that that's so short and tight that, like, I would spend... I mean, I think all of us on the show slept, like, probably 3 to 5 hours a night max. I would spend the night before every shoot scheduling the shoot 2 days from that night, just to keep myself on a very tight schedule. And that, I think, saved me and made it possible for me to complete a 90-minute movie.
Right.
Because it was like...
It's a lot of work what you did. It's a lot of work what you did,
Would you do it again?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the most... I always
say... Would you do it for 7Gs again, though, or no?
Yeah. I always say it's the most difficult thing I've ever done, and it's the most fun I've ever had.
Yeah. See, I did something similar, but I acted, I produced, I did it all. I wore too many hats.
Yeah, and it's hard.
Yeah,
but
Davey Dave was there. He saw me, and now I'm looking through the daily, or I got the string out, and I'm looking through it, and I'm my biggest critic. Of course, my wife saw it, and she was like, "What are you tripping on?" But I was like, I could have done this so much fucking better if I wasn't worried about, lunch. Because I had to fucking feed everybody. People are getting pissed. And I'm like, what am I going to... I'm sitting there across from Lilo, like, waiting to... we're going... And in my head, I'm thinking, like, am I going to order pizzas or am I going to get burritos?
That's the remarkable thing about India is that you do have to work through it. And look...
Yeah, you do.
And you do have to wear that many hats.
Yeah, you do.
A lot of hats.
We kind of... we rolled right over it, but look... Robert Rodriguez is probably one of the finest filmmakers that come out of nowhere in in a couple of decades for sure. He's obvious. I was very lucky. I made 2 movies with Carlos Gallardo, who was El Mariachi.
Cool.
Right, who worked with him.
Yeah.
And he had all these home movies that they had done prior to doing. Right, where they were just like dude on a motorcycle, right?
Yep. Yeah.
But you could see really early on, even in like the Nothing movies that they were doing on like little cam videos, right?
Yeah.
But you could see like this amazing editing style in the work, the perfectly positioned camera in the shots, and when you see El Mariachi, it is a beautiful movie that they did for nothing, but. Robert didn't tell me this, but when I spent a lot of time with Carlos on a couple of movies, and he said to me, we would be there in Acuña, where he's from.
Yeah.
and he goes, we would look at a movie we liked, and he said, we were looking at like, well, who do they have in this? There's a light, and there's a camera, and there's an actor. Because they were looking at the television, thinking, "Well, what else could there be?"
Yeah. Right,
they didn't know any better.
Who else is in the room?
Yeah, there's like no one else in the room. There's a light and there's a camera, and there's maybe a guy saying action. So when they went into El Mariachi, that was sort of the idea. So it is really cool that he continues to support, and to help. Did you get to spend quality time with him and get advice on all the stuff?
Yeah, the one thing that I tell people that was pretty remarkable about being on the show is like in LA, like you're privy to some information about reality TV and stuff that other people elsewhere might not be privy to, right? So I've heard stuff about other like mentor reality shows where like the celebrity person comes on, does their 15 minutes and then leaves set,
Right.
you know? It was absolutely not like that
Mario
with Robert.
Lopez.
Hey.
Oh, we might not get him as an interview if I keep ragging on him, right?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Be careful.
But with Robert, it was absolutely not the case. He was completely a mentor. He was there if we had questions. He would we had weekly meetings with him one-on-one, but also he would show up to our set and be like, "Hey guys, what are you doing? Like, how's it going?" And I was like, "Oh my God, Robert Rodriguez is on my film set." But also like, okay, whatever. Like, El Jefe's here. Like, let's talk.
Let's do this. Yeah.
So that was really amazing. Yeah, he was absolutely available, and he was also available through the post-production process if we had questions. I actually sent him one of my favorite scenes because I'm not an editor. I learned to edit making Phaedra. Like that's how I learned.
Hey, do you have his number? Because I think Tootie needs to.
No,
I don't think I'm allowed to give it out.
Well, can't we announce it right here?
Yeah. Let's.
Tootie, text him after the show.
That's right. We'll get it later.
Yeah, but.
So you spent a lot of time with him. It was all, and you
yeah.
got some good. Well, you could tell like that. You can't do what you did. It's very rare that you do something like that with that amount of money. So again, I want to just congratulate you for hanging in there. 7 years in LA. That's also something to be congratulated about.
Thank you.
And hang in there, right? Keep doing your thing.
Trying.
I think.
See, Robert's your old school. Look at Scarlett and I are making movies over here for a couple G's.
Can't be done. It can't be done.
It can't be done.
Can't
That's
be
what
done.
I'd hear from this guy. It can't be done. Oh, really? Oh, it can't?
A couple more G's definitely helps.
Yes. Craft services gets a little bit better.
Absolutely.
But what else do you need? You got a good story and good talent. That's all you need.
I will say this.
You're invested in the next movie I'm doing?
No,
Yes.
on the documentary.
Come on, don't be a dick.
On the documentary front, I try to use as few people as possible.
For sure.
Right? So I have like 10 days of interviews. My camera guy, I'm going to call him a DP because he is. His name is Angelo Costa. He shows up. He actually does camera and sound. I bring my 5D, and he uses it as second camera.
Nice.
So I only pay one guy. We go there. We do the interviews. We leave. And in a 10-day period, I get all of the footage that I need for the interviews. But I also avoid a bunch of extra crew members.
Well, it also helps the vibe on set when everyone knows each other and everyone starts to love each other and feel like family.
Yeah.
Especially like you're talking about on a documentary set, I feel like it helps the personal nature of everything, and it helps it feel more organic and more real. Because you have a chance to, just be more open. I feel like people are naturally more open when there's less people to perform for.
No, it's an amazing thing. Well, look, thank you for being here. I think it's very inspiring. I think people are going to get a lot out of it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
People should definitely go see the movie. Find it on iTunes.
Yeah,
Find the
good.
show on iTunes.
It's
Rebel
really
Without
good.
a Crew.
I haven't seen the show yet.
Phaedra is the movie.
Phaedra, yeah.
If
But
you watch the show, you'll see me cry a lot.
Really? Why did you cry? Wait a minute. Hang on. Back up a
Yeah.
little bit. What happened? How did you wear?
Get the break.
Oh my God, La Llorona over here. It was
Wow.
bad. It wasn't bad. It was great, but my crying was a joke.
Stress, right? You were stressed out?
Stressed the fuck out. Honestly,
Yes.
so high stress.
See, look.
I would go into a corner and get in everyone. the crew would like laugh because they'd know what I was doing. But when I would like feel really upset about something or stressed out or something wasn't going well, I would go into a corner and go into like a deep squat stance and like put my hands in a prayer position and just like look at the floor for a second to zen out.
What was your biggest stress on the set that would make you cry?
I mean, no sleep, like eating pizza rolls for dinner.
Yeah. Under pressure, schedule.
And like writing, directing everything. Yeah, the schedule was really tough.
Yeah.
Money is really tough. We had to absolutely stay within budget. Like, it was no joke.
I feel your pain because Davey Dave saw it firsthand. My leg, I cramped up every night, no matter how much water I drank, and I didn't sleep because I was so stressed out.
Your body starts doing crazy things.
Yeah.
Why do we do it? Then why do we do it?
I lost like 7 pounds in 2 weeks.
Well, why do we do it? Why do we do it? Losing 7 pounds and getting
because
all that
we love
stress.
it. Because
we do.
There's
do we
nothing,
really?
I love it. There's nothing like the feeling of being on set to me.
No, there's not.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And I love like when people run up to me and are like, "We only have this much time. What do we do?" I'm like, "Cut this shot. Cut that shot.
Oh,
Unnecessary."
my
And like
goodness.
run away. Like I love problem
I don't want.
solving.
I don't want to bring. I don't want to bring the show down.
Come
my
on.
But I am older,
Yes.
and sometimes I will think to myself, if I had to do it again, I might have picked something else to do with my life.
Hijo, I don't think I had anything else. I didn't have a choice.
I didn't think I did either. But look,
Yeah.
I guess I was in East Los Angeles at the time. I was just thinking, man, I just want to. I want to move down the freeway.
He's full of shit. Him and I have we've gone into meetings to meet with people. He's like, "Why are we here, Tootie? What are we going to do? Like, we're going to try to make a movie. What do you mean, what are we going to do? We're going to sit down with this guy, and we're going to talk about it. But why? But then we'll have another conversation the next day. You know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about this idea. High concept. Picture this.
High concept.
Well, no,
That's his new
You're
thing.
kind
Well,
of,
but
you
my
know what?
new
You
thing-
got maybe you got like you're a little crazy.
my
You got some
new
issues.
new thing is totally high concept. Like I always
here we
want to do.
go.
I
Here
always
we go,
want to
here
do.
we go,
I always
high
want to
concept.
pitch high concept
Can
stuff.
you
Well,
define high concept?
Avatar 3, but
Yeah.
underwater.
no. Well,
There we go.
we were talking about it because look when
Isn't
I
that
first
just
saw.
Atlantis?
Yeah, exactly. When I first saw Jurassic Park,
Mm-hmm.
I imagined to myself what it must have been like for an executive for the first time in their lives to be sitting in their office and for Spielberg to come in and go, okay, so check this out.
Spielberg's a key word there, but go ahead.
Well, wait,
Keep
hang
going.
on. But hang on.
Okay,
Okay,
all right.
let's say it's not
Don't say
Spielberg.
it's Spielberg.
Let's say,
Say
it's
it's me or
anybody.
Scarlett. We
Scarlett
walk in
Moreno
there.
goes into an executive at at Universal. You sit down and you're like, check this out.
I'm seeing.
Right. I just read this book that I want to turn into a movie.
Mm-hmm.
What's it about? It's they extract
DNA.
DNA from a dinosaur bone. They recreate dinosaurs. They put them in a park, and all hell breaks loose. Good night.
Boom.
Good night.
Yeah, but
I'm
we all
leaving.
know the movie.
Okay.
If I was
have I
executive,
defined
if
high concept?
You
Yes,
defined
yes,
high.
yes.
Yes, you did. But as an executive, you know what they would say? Get out of my office.
High
They would
concept.
not. Based on a book that's
Well, based on a book, yeah.
that
'cause
I
there-
just
'cause
got
there's
the
an
rights
IP
to.
there.
We're around a lot of successful people that end up doing things at different times, and maybe you're one of them. You know, you'll end up doing great things.
I
And
think so.
and
I'm
I
a big fan, Scarlett.
I am a big fan too.
Guys.
Yeah,
Scarlett
fist
Teeny.
Thank
bump. But yeah, thanks for being here.
Thank-
Continued success. We
Thank
wish you
you.
all the luck in the world. And would you come back and tell us
I would
about
love
what's next?
to.
Yeah.
Because
Or
you're not you're close by, right? Hollywood?
Yeah, I live in like I just moved to like the Hancock Park-ish area.
Oh,
so
so
very-
Phaedra did well then.
There we
Living
go.
at
No,
Hancock.
guys.
Yeah,
Wow,
That's
good
not
for you.
correct. No, that's not
hey,
what got
can
me.
I run an idea by you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I had this idea for the show where we do.
High concept.
No, it's not high
It's high
concept. Oh, you know what? Now it's going to have to be
No,
high
you
concept.
can't do high concept
Okay.
with this.
Yeah, you're right.
You
You're right.
can't.
You're probably
You
not.
can't.
So our idea is, well, my idea. I'm not going to say our
Oh, here we
idea.
go.
I'm going to say my
Oh,
idea.
you didn't call me at 6 a.m. on the one driving. Hey, I got an
Hang
idea.
on,
Yeah.
time out.
All right.
So my idea is we have people submit their shorts, 20 pages or less. We fund that short for $10,000,
Okay.
and we help them produce it. They direct, write, whatever they do.
Mm-hmm.
And then we help it get into festivals and do that kind of work.
Mm-hmm.
But I was also thinking, one of our sponsors on the show is extrememusic.com. Have you heard of them?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So extrememusic.com is a
would love them.
massive library of hundreds of thousands of songs.
You would have loved it for Phaedra.
Right.
Yeah.
And and I don't know if it's inexpensive. It depends what songs you pick. But
Oh, it's like licensing?
yeah, it's licensing.
Oh,
You just
wow,
go. It's a
amazing.
website. You go in and you sign up and you punch in, like, let's say drama
Yeah.
or
Or like
period
disco
drama
or whatever,
or
yeah.
disco, and hundreds and
Yeah,
hundreds
I've
of songs
used
come out.
sites like it for sure.
Okay, so Extreme Music, Russell Emanuel is he was on our show, and they are going to provide all of the music through the site for that short.
Amazing.
So you would submit. If you win, we fund your movie. We help you get into festivals, and shoot, that's it.
So I just wrote this short. I'm gonna
I think you're disqualified because you
I
were
think
on the
so,
show.
I think so.
What a bummer.
Bummer. I'll send it under a different name.
Send
There
yes.
you go.
Scarlettini
Phaedra. If it shows
Bambini.
it shows up.
Bambini.
How about it
Yeah.
shows up as Phaedra?
As just
Yeah,
Phaedra
it's
or
just-
Phaedra and Apollo,
Yeah.
written
do,
by.
do you like that idea?
Yeah, it's
You
great.
think we should do that?
I think people deserve to get their work made, and whether or not they can financially come up with it is often the reason that they don't make it.
Yeah.
So I think that this is an amazing idea.
There's a lot of talent out there, but I wrote to Russell Emanuel.
You did?
Yeah, and first of all, he said, I've been listening to all your shows. I'm a huge fan.
Love that guy.
First of all.
Yeah,
Love
first of all.
Russell.
And then he said, I like the idea for the contest.
Yeah.
Let me know how I can help. Sounds awesome.
Bam.
So-
Russ. Can we call him Russ or just Russell?
We can call him Russ.
I
Russ.
think you have to ask him if you can call him Russ.
I think so. And we got to ask Russell if we can call him Russ.
Oh, Russ.
I call,
Go
I
by
call him
Russ.
Mr. Russell.
Mr.
Russell.
Russell. All right.
But
Yeah,
he's
but-
but
Mr. Russ.
but please go check out extrememusic.com. It is
will.
I did a documentary and I used 87 cues from that library. There's no song. I mean, even my opening title sequence is from extrememusic.com.
Amazing.
And it was all, I can't say how much it was, but I can tell you it was a lot less than you would expect for that many cues for an entire movie. So next week on Let's Get Into It, I'm going to talk about one of his most famous composers
Yes.
that's making over $1 million
Off of
on one song.
It's a big
Dude,
one.
this
That's what I'm
It's a
talking
big
And
one.
it's on
about.
SOA, Sons of Anarchy.
Wow.
What?
Yeah. It's amazing. Anyway, it's also on a Hershey's commercial, I think.
Well, that
Same
helps
song.
too.
That
Well,
might
that's
be
the,
the-
That
that's
could
the
help.
thing. That's the thing about extrememusic.com is that if you get a song or someone else gets it, you guys can both use it, whether you're an indie or a big
Cool.
television show or a big movie. So, Scarlet Moreno, check her out. Check out her movie Phaedra. Check out her the television show that's based on the making of that
Yep.
movie, which is all on iTunes.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And let us know what you thought
And
of that.
follow her on Instagram,
Scarlettini.
Scarlettini.
And hopefully, what we do, we'll have you on next time,
I would love to
and you
be
can
on again,
tell
yeah.
us about your acting, because hopefully you're doing a bunch of acting next, right?
Fingers
Yeah.
crossed.
Fingers crossed. All right, guys, thank you for listening. Really appreciate it. Thank you to Pink Taco for having us here in the Tequila Room,
That's
which
right.
does not have Casa Mexico just yet.
Yeah.
And by the way, I got the string out.
Yay.
4
All right.
months later.
Thank God. How is it? You don't want to say.
It's out
Uh-oh.
of sequence, but let me just tell you this: the last 5 minutes, I was proud. When it
congratulations.
wraps it all up, I said I got something, and then Weiser actually called me, actually texted me. 'Cause I
Your
sent it to
producer.
him.
Your executive
yeah,
producer.
Yeah, we gotta have
and
him on.
funder.
And he said, and he's more of a pessimist than you, Robert.
I'm not
And
a
he-
pessimist. I'm
and-
a
Hey,
complete
whoa.
optimist.
Yeah, a little bit.
Realist.
Yeah, I'm a
Optimistic
realist. See, I like her.
Oh,
Very good.
optimist.
Good point.
See,
Yes.
He put, "Holy shit!" exclamation point. We got a movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great, dude.
Yeah, so-
Congratulations.
yeah, so we'll
Awesome.
see.
Congrats, bro.
I think you should show it to Scarlett.
Uh,
Obviously has some opinions that might help you.
You
I
want
have
to sit?
opinions.
You want to sit in the bay with me
From
for
the
about
ma-
3 weeks?
She
No,
said-
3 weeks.
I have opinions.
I do have them.
But that would be good. I
Yeah.
mean, she worked with a master.
yeah. No.
And also, would you be willing to read scripts for the contest?
That'd be so fun.
Would that be fun?
Yeah.
All right, so maybe
Wow.
because
Nice.
we're going to also have Antoine Fisher. I'm going to ask Antoine Fisher
Oh,
if he
damn.
wouldn't mind
Wow.
also
Oh my God,
helping
that'd
us
be so
select.
fun.
Yeah, maybe we'll all get together and talk about the
Like a
ones that
little
we
book
like.
club.
Yeah, like a little book
Yeah.
club.
Yeah.
Right. No.
Talk about which one we think would be best made for $10,000.
Okay.
We gotta
Hey,
think.
thank you very much for being here. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you to Pink Taco. Thank you to Sunset Boulevard. And thank you to everyone who's here. Thank you.
Perfect.
guys. Appreciate it.
Thank
Thank you so much.
All right.
That was awesome.
Guys.
Thank
Coming
you.
at.